Jungkook sat in the back seat of his car, staring directly out of the window as the city light blew past him. The world outside was moving, yet inside he felt nothing. He let out a quiet sigh and whispered to himself, "Jungkook, why does it feel like I'm going to a funeral instead of a wedding?" He had been like this for years, cold, distant, untouched by emotions, love, and forgotten concepts, something he had never truly received. Not after his mother passed away, his heart tightened at the money. Jungkook thinking she was the only one who loved me truly after she died. Everything changed. His father remained soon after and thought that moment on Jungkook was nothing more than an obligation, someone to carry the family name, someone to obey. And now he was heading to the wedding. He never wanted a business marriage arranged for the sake of expanding his father's empire. Jungkook, this is just another deal, nothing more. His soon to be suppose Taehoon was the only son of the wealthy and influential family. Unlike Jungkook, Taehoon was said to be kind, warm, and full of life, the complete opposite of him. Jungkook on a hand thought his days, his hair stared at his reflection in the car window. Jungkook is probably just like the rest of them, fake smile and empty heart. The car finally came. The driver stepped out and opened the door. Driver, we're here, sir. Jungkook adjusted the suit and stepped out without a word. The moment he entered the grand hall, all eyes turned towards him, yet he ignored them completely. He stopped his father standing proudly near giving him an no, Mr. Jean, father, don't embarrass me. Jungkook, his stepmother and sibling stood nearby with unable expressions, some whispering among themselves. But then Jungkook saw him, Taehyung standing in front of the dress in a white suit. His soft raw hair was perfectly straight, and his eyes sparkled like tears. The moment their eyes met, Taehyung whispered to himself, "He is beautiful." His heart began to race so fast he thought it might burst. Is this really happening? He looked so distant but so perfect. He had heard about Jungkook before, about his cold personality and distant nature, but none of that mattered now. For the very first glance, something inside him whispered, "This is the man I'm going to love." Meanwhile, Jungkook looked at him with unavailable eyes. He noticed the way Taehyung was looking at him with warmth and invitation. It was strange. Jungkook thinking, why is he looking at me like that? No one ever looked at me like that. The ceremony began. The music played soft in the background as they stood together before the officiant, and then it was time for the vow. Officiant, please share your Taehyung turned to face Jungkook, his voice shaking slightly but filled with sincerity. Taehyung, I don't know what our future holds, but I promise to be by your side, to support you, and to care for you in every way I can. There was silence, the hall held in its breath. Everyone waited for Jungkook's response. He finally looked into Taehyung's eyes and spoke, his voice quite emotionless. Jungkook, I will fulfill my role as your husband. It was not a promise of love, but it was all he could offer. Taehyung nodded slowly, his heart aching a little, but he smiled. Taehyung thinking, it's okay, I'll wait. I'll make you love me one day, Jungkook. Taehyung gently reached for Taehyung's hand and squeezed it. His touch was soft and careful. Taehyung, we are married now. Jungkook stiffened at his touch. unused of affection, but he didn't pull away. The wedding night arrived. Their bedroom was elegant and quiet. The staff had decorated it with soft light and gentle flower arrangement, but inside there was only silence. Then sat the edge of the bed, nervously twisting his finger. Then I know this is just a business marriage for you, but can we at least try to be friends? Jungkook, who was removing his tie clothes, he turned to face Taehyung, his lips unavailable. Jungkook, friends? Taehyung, yes, I mean we are living together, sharing a life, even if love isn't there. Maybe friendship can be a start. Jungkook hesitated for a long moment before giving a small nod. Jungkook, alright. Taehyung smiled softly, relieved. Taehyung, thank you, really. Jungkook turned off the light and got into bed on the other side. The silence returned, but this time it didn't feel so heavy. As they lay on the side, staring at the ceiling, he heard Taehyung's gentle voice. Taehyung, good night, Jungkook, for a second, and Jungkook didn't respond. But then Jungkook, good night, and for the first time in years, Jungkook felt something warm in his chest. He didn't understand it, but Taehyung's voice, his presence, it made the emptiness inside him feel just a little less painful. And so their journey began. A cold-hearted man, a warm-hearted soul, tied together by the faith. Jungkook Yogi. The morning sun came through the large bedroom window, reaching the warm light over the elegant room. Jungkook was already awake, sitting on the edge of the bed, lost in thought. He was a married man now. The words felt strange, almost silly. He had never imaged himself like this. Marriage always felt like a burden, something people did for power or business, not for love. Love, that word meant nothing to him anymore. Taehyung moved a little beside him, his soft breathing lifted the quiet room. Jungkook turned his head slightly and looked at the younger man's peaceful face. How could he sleep so calmly? Could he look so relaxed? How could he look so relaxed? Jungkook shook his head and tried to push away the strange feeling in his chest. Jungkook thinking this is just a contract, nothing more. He stood up and walked to the bathroom. By the time he came back, Taehyung was awake, rubbing his sleepy eyes. Taehyung, good morning, he said sleepily. Jungkook only nodded with fixing his tie. He didn't do more greetings. Taehyung shook shortly. Taehyung, you don't talk much, do you? Jungkook didn't reply. He was not sure what Taehyung wanted from him. Taehyung, are you going to work? Jungkook, yes. Taehyung, did you eat? Jungkook stopped moving. It has been a long time since someone asked him that. His father never did. His stepmother never once. Jungkook, no. Taehyung yawned and got out of bed, stretching. Taehyung, then wait. I'll make you something to eat. Jungkook raised an eyebrow. Jungkook, there is stuff for that. Taehyung, I know, but I want to do it. Before Jungkook could say anything, Taehyung smiled and walked out towards the kitchen. Jungkook stood still, staring at the space Taehyung had just left. Jungkook thinking, why? Why does he care? What does he want in return? A few minutes later, Tehang came back with a plate of warm toast and eggs. Tehang had eat this before you go. Jungkook looked at the food for a moment before slowly taking a bite. Tehang, it is good. Jungkook, it's fine. Tehang pouted a little. Just fine. Jungkook let out a small sign. What did he expect from him? Compliment? Smile? But then he saw Taehyung still looking at him with big, hopeful eyes. Jungkook gave in. Jungkook, it's good. Taehyung's smile grew bright and cheerful, and Jungkook didn't know why, but it caught him off guard. Taehyung, then I'll cook for you every morning. Jungkook frowned a little. Jungkook, that's not necessary. But I want to. We may not be in love, but we are married now. I don't want us to be strangers living in the same house. Let's try to be something more than that. Jungkook looked at him quietly for a long moment. Something more? He didn't know if he could do that. Without another word, Jungkook grabbed his coat and left for work. The unbelievable Jungkook was a mystery, cold, quiet, and hard to read. But Taehyung was not afraid of him. From the first moment he saw Jungkook at the something in his heart had whispered that this man was special, even if Jungkook didn't believe in love. Even if he tried to push him away, Taehyung wanted to stay. Taehyung thinking, I won't give up easily. I find a way to warm your heart, Jungkook. Just wait and see. The day passed in a blur, each one almost the same as the last. Taehyung woke up early, made breakfast, and waited for Jungkook to notice him. But every morning, Jungkook left without saying anything about the food that Taehyung had prepared so carefully. Still, Taehyung refused to stop. He couldn't. His heart wouldn't let him. Today, Taehyung decided to try something new. He would cook Jungkook's favorite meal. Jungkook had mentioned it once a year ago during a rare conversation that he liked grilled fish and rice. Taehyung was not sure if he remembered it right, but he thought it was worth a try. As he cooked, Taehyung was careful with every step he made sure to prepare everything perfectly, editing just the right amount of and place it neatly on the plate. This was his small act. Might finally notice him when Jungkook entered the kitchen later that morning. Taehyung was already setting the table. He glanced up briefly as Jungkook walked by, but this time Taehyung noticed something. Jungkook slowed down just for a moment. His eyes stayed on the food a little longer than usual. Taehyung had skipped a bit. Was he finally paying attention? Jungkook, is this for me? His voice was calm and natural, but Taehyung caused a small bit of curiosity in it. Jungkook softly, yes, I remember you said you liked this. Jungkook stared at the plate a little longer, and Taehyung felt his heart pounding inside his chest. Then Jungkook sat down at the table, saying nothing more. He started eating, and the silence filled the space between them. Taehyung watched him closely, hoping for some kind of reaction to his surprise. Jungkook ate slowly. He was not rushing through the food like he usually did. For a small moment, Taehyung thought he saw something in Jungkook's eyes, a tiny flicker of appreciation, but it disappeared quickly, and his face went back to its usual blank. Now, Jungkook, you can stop making me like this. I don't need them. Taehyung had think a little, but he tried hard not to show his disappointment. Taehyung, I know. I just thought maybe it would help us get to know each other better. Jungkook didn't answer right away. He finished the meal quietly and then stood up. Taehyung watched him, wondering if this would be another day where Jungkook left without looking back. But as Jungkook picked up his briefcase and turned to go, he looked at Taehyung one more time. Jungkook, thank you. The words were soft, almost too quiet to hear, but Taehyung heard them. It was small, but it meant more than he could explain. Taehyung smiled anytime he as Jungkook walked out of the door for work. Taehyung stood in the quiet kitchen feeling a strange mix of hope and sadness. He didn't expect Jungkook to change overnight, but that one tiny moment of kindness, that little thank you was enough to keep him going. The next few days passed in almost the same way. Taehyung continued his effort, small act of kindness, gentle word, and soft smile. Every time Jungkook stayed distant like he was ignoring Taehyung's efforts on purpose, but Taehyung didn't give up. He couldn't. This morning, Taehyung sat at the breakfast table, quietly poking at his food. The silence between them felt heavier than usual. Jungkook hadn't said a single word since he entered the room for the first time. Something stirred inside Taehyung's curiosity. Maybe it was time to ask him directly. Maybe it was time to stop waiting for Jungkook to open up on his own. But before Taehyung could speak, Jungkook's voice broke the silence. Jungkook, Taehyung, don't bother with this anymore. His tone was flat as always. Taehyung solo hard tried not to show his frustration. Taehyung, why do you always say that? I'm not trying to bother you. I just Jungkook cut him off, not even meeting his eyes. Jungkook, why are you even trying? He sounded distant, like he was not really here, like the words were coming from somewhere deep inside, out of habit. Tang stayed quiet for a moment. His heart hurt, but he pushed his feeling away. Then I don't understand. You keep telling me not to bother you, but I'm not. I just want us to at least be civil. I know this isn't what effort of us wanted, but we have to make it work somehow, right? For a moment, Jungkook finally looked at him for just for a second, but to Taehyung, that second felt like a small victory. Jungkook's face didn't change; his eyes were still cold. Granted, Jungkook, I didn't ask for this, and I don't need it. The world hit Taehyung like a wave, but he didn't let it so. Taehyung, I know you didn't, but I'm still here, and I'm still trying to be something, anything. We don't have to be strangers. We don't have to live in silence. For the first time, Jungkook eye flickered with something. It was not indifference, but Taehyung couldn't tell what it was. What is annoyance or what is something else? Jungkook stood up and moved towards the door. Jungkook, I don't need you to fix anything. I don't need anyone. That line stuck deep, but Taehyung kept his voice calm. Taehyung, I'm not trying to fix you. I'm just trying to be here. But Jungkook was already out of the door, leaving Taehyung alone in the quiet room. Taehyung sat there for a long time, the food on his plate stayed untouched. A silence remained how far apart they still were. Jungkook acted like he didn't care, but Taehyung knew he felt it. There was something more. Jungkook could surface and he would wait. Taehyung thinking, I'll wait as long as it takes. Jungkook until you see what I am not doing anymore.